Dun, 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 dun. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, on the internet, in YouTube land, and in podcast land. Welcome once again to Lancing with Myself, the weekly 5-minute show where I take a time out of my week to talk about being a freelance creative and game designer when you're low on spoons and low on cash. Just a few minutes ago, I managed to put one of my big projects, Relics, A Game of Angels, a massive RPG. I got the PDF finished and up and out to all the Kickstarter backers, which is a really nice thing to do. And within about half an hour, somebody asked me about when there might be expansions coming, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But the other day, I managed to get Baby Dragon Bedtime, a card game that I've been working on for several years. I finally managed to get enough money into a distributor in the US, and I was asking someone if there was any sort of tips you could use to encourage, store owners to buy something from a distributor. He said, well, having one game isn't enough. Distributors tend to look for a company that shows its success by having more games. What's the common theme here? The common theme is that success is a stick that beats you over the head, and it is also a thing that never ends. There is an ongoing pressure from audiences and from markets to keep producing things. There is no end to the race, which is true of all things in life, but success can be worse like that because we tell ourselves so often, and in our artistic senses, there is a beginning and an end of a project. There's a time where something is finished and you release it and out it goes. But as the famous song by Bruce Springsteen goes, and I'm really showing my age here, it's like, if I know the game and you forget my name, I won't be here in another year if I don't stay on the charts. In other words, the audience is constantly hungry. They will finish watching something and all they care about is what's on next. And you can work your entire life on a novel, and then someone will read it in an afternoon and then suddenly go off and look for something else because they're bored again. Success is a hungry beast, and it doesn't matter what you produce. It will be consumed in moments and then forgotten. And the next thing will be demanded. And if you sacrifice yourself to that beast, then it will be eating you for the rest of your life, because it will never be satisfied. Your audience doesn't care. Your audience really doesn't want you to go and have a break. It just wants the next cool thing that you've done. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't make them bad people. It's just how we are. It's how we consume art. We love it and we want more. So you have to understand that you have to be able to make things for yourself. And you have to be aware of the fact that finishing a project is a nice thing, and publishing a project is a nice thing, but it's never going to step up and shake your hand. It's never going to say you've done good, have a rest. It's never going to say sit back down. You might get a couple of nice things from your friends. You might be able to feel it in your heart that it's good, that it's out there, but that feeling isn't going to last, and it's going to come with all sorts of complicated baggage, and it's going to be your brain is going to be wanting to make more things too, because your brain likes to do what it's used to doing, and if it's producing things, it doesn't like to stop. So there is no end of the movie moment. We tell ourselves, human beings think in stories, and we're used to that moment where we cross the line and everything stops, because that's the achievement, that's the end of the story. We've made it, we've succeeded, and our battle is over, and we can put our weapons down. But that's not how humans work, that's not how life works, and it's really, really not how making things works. If you want it to be like that, you have to make it. You have to carve out something in your brain. You have to go out and have a party. You have to set aside some time to rest. You have to get your friends together and celebrate and mark this thing, whatever it takes, with a cake, with a celebration. It's up to you to provide the ritual, because life itself, existence itself, isn't going to notice you or mark you in any way. It's up to you to go, I did it, and it doesn't matter. And even your fans will not be great at marking that. You'll get a nice couple of congratulations, and then they'll ask for the next thing. So you've got to be ready for that. Success is a stick, and it will keep beating you and beating you and beating you. And it will leave you with an endless series of dissatisfaction, because that's what we are as artists. We're never satisfied. If we were, we would stop. And sometimes you've got to have methadone. I actually had a couple of game ideas that I put aside not to work on until I was finished with Relics. And as soon as I first finished the text, I went straight into working on that, which was great. And I'm going to have a party maybe this weekend to celebrate the PDF going out, because I've got to mark that as a ritual, and finding more methadone and more ways to celebrate things and not just simply go straight back to work like Sisyphus pushing the rock, because then I will go insane, because the process never ends. I still have to get the printed versions out. I have to ship them back to me, and I have to ship them out to backers, and then I have 2 supplements at least that are promised, and then I've got all those people asking for more. The rock never stops rolling. You have to find a way to make yourself happy pushing that rock. However you do it, it's up to you, but don't expect the rock to thank you, or the people out there who are really keen to see what else you're pushing up that hill. So, look after yourself. Remember that success is a stick to beat you, but there are ways that you can get around that. Until next time, I will see you on the internet. Get out there, make games, be good, play games, pat dogs, have fun.